What's happening, beautiful humans? So I sit here today with Dr. Francisco Cedral, who's a scientific advisor here at inHarmony. Through our newsletter and through my weekly lives, you've been hearing me talk for months about the work that we're doing, the science and the research that we're collecting. And Francisco and I get together just about every week. And I was just talking to him and I said, "Hey, we need to create some content. I want to click record." He said, "I haven't shaven. I'm not ready for it." I said, "Doesn't matter. The people just need to meet you." So I wanted to take a couple minutes to introduce Dr. Francisco Cedral, the work that we're doing through Scientifica Consulting, and this entire new arm that we have basically built here at inHarmony that's dedicated to science and research. Well, why don't you kind of give a little introduction and then I'll talk a little bit about our timelines and what we've done already and what we're doing in the future. And let's just take 5, 10 minutes just to kind of introduce you to our community and to talk a little bit about what we're doing here.
Okay, pleasure being here. Thank you. I mean, next time I will shave. I know, I'll promise you that.
It's raw and
So,
it's authentic. It's how we do it.
yeah, I think this is good. I mean, that's what we do on a regular basis, right? So,
Yes.
and I love doing it. So, my background, I'm a naturopathic doctor, and I did a little bit of a different program. It's a 4.5 year program, and then after that, you got to choose a nice specialization. I chose acupuncture, another 2.5 year. And I really didn't like needles very much, which is weird for an acupuncturist. So I started using lasers and then laser therapy. The effects were pretty good.
Wow.
After that, I went back to the university and I started teaching in the acupuncture post-graduation program and introduction to complementary and alternative therapies. And I was teaching, and I was the supervisor of the laser, therapy at the university, seeing the students that were going through their residency program, and the results were phenomenal. Like, these complementary integrative therapies are amazing, and the results we were getting were really good. But I didn't really understand about the mechanisms. I saw the benefits, but I was curious. I mean, how is this working? And then I was glad very happy to be able to get a full scholarship to a federal university that gave me access to a neuroscience lab full time. Every day I stopped everything, and then I was in the lab from 7 in the morning up to like 6, 7 at night, and studying neuroscience. I specialized in neurobiology, pain, and inflammation through my master's. So a 2 year master's studying laser therapy, acupuncture. A lot of it was in smaller, models of pain and inflammation, animal models, and then clinical trials. After that, I got another scholarship, another 4 years for a PhD in neuroscience. And then after that, I got a 1 year postdoctorate. And then when I got to the end of that, they said, get the hell out of here, go, do something else. You've been studying for
Be
too long.
productive.
Do something else. And then I went back to the university, and now I was a professor of neurophysiology and integrative medicine, photobiomodulation, and we founded a lab of experimental neuroscience. The lab is still ongoing, and then so many years in academia. So that's kind of my background in the academia part. I'm still a professor at the Integrative Wellbeing Institute at a big university down in Brazil, and at Sapienza University in Rome. That university is pretty new. It's only been around for 1,800 years. And I teach in Rome, like in the post-graduation program and master's program in neuromodulation. So I go back and forth to Brazil and then Italy and then here in the US. And I've been doing scientific consulting for maybe almost 15 years now here in the US. So
Outstanding.
that's the
There's a
trajectory.
there's a big part of our constituency that's actually built around acupuncture, and it's one of the verticals that we talk about also. So we'll dive into that. Obviously, photobiomodulation. There's a lot of things I think that excite you about the research that we're doing here at inHarmony, specifically vibroacoustic therapy. You've had a cushion for a long time. We've been friends for 3, 4 years. Um, what has you most excited about what we're working on right now? And then I'll kind of go through a little timeline of what we've done and what we're doing.
This is a technology that is, again, non-invasive. That's basic, right? For me, very important. It's an easy way to influence your autonomic nervous system and then makes you function better. It enhances the benefits of any type of meditation that you're doing because now you have another sensory input into your body to help you with the whole process. That's how I feel when I'm using it during my meditations, is that the vibration is another part. Patrick from, BrainTap likes to talk about that all the time. Brainwave entrainment, external stimuli that are stimulating the process that you're going through, and you want the changes that you want to put your brain into a different state. And you can use sound, you can use light, and vibration is a big component.
Hmm.
There's a lot of very interesting papers out there demonstrating that. So it's an interesting way to influence your autonomic nervous system and your brain as a whole. And it has a lot of different benefits from, raising quality of sleep, relaxation, and so on and so forth. I mean, Greg would know better than me,
Well,
about that.
your team has already put together a few documents that I think are really important. We were working together for the last few months, maybe 6 months at this point. The first thing you went through is our entire website, and you reviewed all of the claims that how they would be interpreted, so that we could basically create a 48-page compliance document that our marketing teams are using, our internal teams, our operating teams are using for really putting guardrails on the messaging that we're putting out there. And we reference this quite a bit, and you've been a phenomenal resource to help us with that as well. You also went through and reviewed something like 1,300 papers on vibroacoustic therapy, and we posted on our science and research page that literary review, which we have plans for in the future, but as of right now, it's there and it's read, and there's some statistical analysis to it. We've also launched 3 of 5 studies that are already up and we're receiving data. And we don't want to talk about that yet. I'm going to get you all dolled up, and we're going to produce some content where we're talking about those findings. So I want you to hold on that part first, because I'm really excited about what those initial findings have had. And then what we've been just talking about, and we've been talking about, is putting together a claims book. So what claims do we want to substantiate through the science and research that we're going to be doing? And then completing those science and research studies so that we can substantiate and make those claims. It's flipping the whole thing upside down to say, hey, where do we want, what do we know anecdotally? What have we seen through initial testing? What types of tests and research studies can we put together? And what claims do we want to be able to make? In turn, our affiliates and our user group can then make those claims as well. So this is something that I'm really excited about. And if you want to jump in on any of that, by the way, please do.
No, that's it. I mean, this is very important that people understand in this health and wellness space that a lot of companies out there are actually shooting themselves in the foot when they say things that they can't substantiate. Because people go in and then they see, I mean, I mean, I've seen claims from I don't even want to mention.
Yeah, it's not important.
And if we can't, this is actually kind of a disservice to the community and the health and wellness as a whole. I think we need to be ethical and then make claims that we can substantiate, that we know that for a fact work. And this is very honorable, ethical, and worthy of applause to the companies that are investing their time in the research.
Yeah.
This is a contribution, not just to your company, but to the whole field of health and wellness
It's
as a whole,
always it's
because we're
always the
validating.
approach. It's always the approach that I've wanted to
Yes,
take, is not just being an
that's it.
evangelist for inHarmony, but for the entire industry as a whole.
The
The commitment
entire
to science and
industry.
research, I think, is really important. And I want to just get this message out to everybody else. Please be very careful what you're saying. It's the broadness of paint strokes that can pull you into a claim is dramatic. Saying one FDA protected disease state over here in this conversation, and then having the name inHarmony on your website, seemingly unrelated, can actually get you into trouble and can get us into
It
trouble
can.
and can get the entire company into trouble.
And not only that, I mean, so from a legal standpoint, right? This is very important because the vocabulary that we're using can be checked not only by the FDA. We need to follow compliance, but also by the FTC because
Yes.
they're protecting the consumer. The other thing that is very important is it does not make any sense whatsoever to me that we say that we're treating a disease or we're curing a disease or we're addressing a symptom,
Yes.
because that's not what we're doing. Complementary and integrative therapies, what they're doing is they're modulating your physiology. They're helping the individual as a whole because the body knows what to do. If we stimulate the functions that are going to lead to, better outcomes, to getting rid of symptoms and diseases, this is what we're doing.
Yes.
We're not going after diseases or treating, pathologies.
And
What
it's
we're
not the
doing
science and
is
research we're going to be doing either, by the way.
no, we're
Yeah.
promoting health. It's totally different. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what kind of a disease you have. If you're less stressed, if you sleep better, if you find ways to manage, all this craziness that surrounds us all the time through a meditation with vibroacoustics, what are the diseases you're helping the person with? All of them.
All of
And
them.
even if the person doesn't have any diseases, you're
Foundation.
promoting health so that they don't develop them. So this is what we're doing, promoting health.
I kind of want to close with that. I just wanted to take a few minutes to introduce him to him. I think that's a great way for us to end. We will be back with more content, with more from Francisco, his team. We got a lot to do on this front. Francisco, I'm grateful for your
Thank you.
time. Your team's phenomenal. I hope you have a thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.